Hey everybody, welcome to another video. Today I'm going to be talking about the 5 top books that I read in 2022. Now, I did follow the usual rules on BookTube where I didn't do repeat authors or, multiple books from one series, or things like that. That's actually why it's 5 instead of 10, is because a lot of them were repeats of the same authors. So, yeah, enjoy! These are going to be in no particular order. The first one of my top 5, once again in no particular order, will be Words of Radiance by Brandon Sanderson. This is the second book in the Stormlight Archive. I really liked The Way of Kings that I also read in 2022, but I think I liked Words of Radiance a little bit better. Just the character development and a little bit of additional development about the world was really interesting to me, so I gave this book 5 stars and I really, really loved it. As you probably know, the Stormlight Archive is set in an alternate world, high fantasy, where there are these high storms that sort of ravage the land, so the world is basically all rock and everything, and you kind of follow a few different characters, because there's Kaladin, who is a soldier and a slave, there's Shallan, who is sort of a scholar, and there's Dalinar, the brother of a king and general, and his son Adolin, and it's just a really great look into kind of the world in the first book with kind of this war that's been going on and the relationship between all of these different countries. And then the second book delves a lot more into all of that. So yeah, the first book, the kind of primary character is Kaladin, and in this book it's Shallan. When I actually do like Kaladin a little bit better, I just thought this book was really fun. The next book on my top 5 books of 2022 is Red Seas Under Red Skies by Scott Lynch. This is the second book in the Gentleman Bastard series. It is also my favorite of the series, so I guess I have a thing for second books, which is a little unusual since usually there's sort of second book syndrome, but this book really did not have that. The series is about some con men and thieves, basically, who pull off massive heists in this world that's sort of vaguely, well, the first book is set in sort of vaguely Italian settings. This book takes place a little bit in a different area, because each of the books is sort of a standalone, not exactly, but they kind of tell their own story. And this one had a lot more pirate vibes, and I'm a sucker for seafaring fantasy, so I really, really liked this one. The next book on my top 5 list would be Exit Strategy by Martha Wells. I'm actually not sure that this is my favorite one in the series. I just don't have All Systems Red because my brother is borrowing it. So the Murderbot Diaries in general were just a 5-star read for me. I think I gave the second book a little bit lower than 5 stars, but other than that, the humor was really great. I liked the lighthearted sci-fi. And yeah, for those of you who don't know, which probably everyone does, it follows Murderbot, who is a security robot AI whose job is to protect a group of scientists. And it's just pretty funny because Murderbot doesn't really care about its job and just wants to watch soap operas, basically. And so you just kind of get this snarky internal dialogue as the narration, and it's really, really good. The next book on my top 5 list for 2022 is The Heir of Nephron by Michael J. Sullivan, the third book in the Rhyria Revelations trilogy, although each of the 3 books is 2 books, so I don't know, call it what you want. This was my favorite, which is a pretty good thing because the series just really got better and better as it went. So I guess I'll just tell you a little bit about it. The first book in the series, I guess, starts with these 2 characters, Hadrian and Royce, who are kind of a pair of almost like swords and other various expertise for hire, and they get hired for this job, and they kind of get pulled into a lot more politics than they really wanted to. And the series kind of follows the fallout from that and also explores how the ancient past and the relations between the races, like the elves and the humans and the dwarves and whatnot, is affecting their world. So yeah, really great series. The last book in my top 5 for 2022 is Fireborn by Rosaria Munda. I gave this book 5 stars, obviously, if it's in my top 5. I really, really enjoyed this book. For everyone that doesn't know, this is kind of a take on the Russian Revolution, but in a fantasy world and with dragons. And it follows these two characters who who have different backgrounds, but kind of are working for the same cause, where they're trying to kind of become like dragon riders, basically, for this new regime. And it kind of follows the effects of the new regime and kind of how and if it's any better than the old one. And so it's really, really good. I also wanted to add that my honorable mention for my top 5 list would be the Aeronauts Windlass, which I don't have because I'm lending it to a friend right now. But that book I also gave 5 stars, and I thought it was amazing. It just maybe didn't go into as deep of themes as some of the other ones, so I didn't rate it, I didn't put it quite as high on the list, but I really enjoyed it, and it was a blast to read, and I'm really excited for when the rest of the series hopefully comes out. So yeah. But yeah, those are my top 5 picks for the year. So thank you so much for watching, and if you want to leave a comment down below with your top 5 reads, I'd be really interested to hear about that. Bye!